Hey, good evening, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you. The Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Just got one more day to get through tomorrow to get to that Thanksgiving holiday. Hope you're doing well. Happy Tuesday to you. You know, football season just wrapped up here a week and a half ago. What a year for the Cartervillle Lions. But as quickly as it ended, we transitioned straight in to basketball season. As a matter of fact, Carterville girls are 5 games into the season. I went over to the school earlier this evening. Was going to go watch practice, and the girls were pulling out, heading over to Carterville to take on the Terriers this evening. Boys basketball, Coach Shane Hawkins and the Lions looking at starting their season coming up on Monday night. Going to be playing in the Murphysboro Trico tournament, the Ernie Bozarth Memorial Tournament. Going to be playing on the Trico side of the tournament as we have the last couple of years, and that's going to be kicking off on Monday night. It's hard to believe it's basketball season, but the football championships are going to be played this week up in Champaign, and there's already been high school games for the boys that started, I think, last night on Monday around the southern Illinois region, but the Lions going to kick things off coming up on Monday night when they head to Trico to take on Steelville in the first game of the Ernie Bozarth Tournament. And a little bit earlier this evening, the reason I went over, and after the practice was all over, Hawk and I were just sitting around kind of chatting, and thought I'd take a moment to talk to the head coach of the Carterville Lions, Coach Shane Hawkins. Basketball season has arrived, Coach Shane Hawkins. I guess the first thing I'd ask is, what effect is football and the success of the football program had on the start of your basketball season?
I think it's a positive effect. I think anytime you have, we had 10 football guys that are on our roster, and we had 10 guys who won 11 football games in the fall. I mean, so we've got guys who have gone and won every week, and I think that I use it. Winning breeds winning. And so you have guys who have been successful, and we may be they haven't had a basketball in their hand, but they have their mentality is to compete and win, and that's what they've had to do. And they had a couple of weeks, during the football season where it wasn't as intense, and it was games that they were going to win handily. And but those last 3 weeks in the playoffs, I think it really it was a grind for them. You look at who they played in the playoffs, and Geneseo and Coal City and Rochester, and those were grinds for them. And they went and competed and put themselves in position to win games. And I think that anytime you have guys who are successful and used to winning, I think that means a ton.
And the leadership that they bring to the floor.
Yeah, I mean, it's those guys have been out there kind of on an island where they're making checks and they're making reads, and a lot of times you have to correct yourself on the floor, and they were able to get people in the right spot and then go make plays. And we may be ugly early, but it doesn't mean we're not going to win. And I think that because that's the mindset we have, and it's kind of survive, win whatever way we can early until everything else gets caught up. But I think we have guys that want to compete, and they're used to winning. I think there's a lot to be said for that.
It all starts on Monday night. The Trico side of the Ernie Bozarth opening up tournament's going to feature Steelville Trico Redbud coming in, same as we saw last year.
Yeah, we had Redbud at Redbud. Sparta was in the tournament, but so Sparta got out. Redbud came in, and I wasn't really excited about playing Redbud twice. Playing them, what would have been Tuesday of Thanksgiving week, and then turn around and play them again sometime next week in the tournament. And they felt the same way. As it turned out, we don't need to be playing a game on Tuesday of Thanksgiving. So it's all worked out. But yeah, it's 3 teams we're familiar with. We saw Trico, we saw Steelville early last year. We saw Trico early and saw them again late. And saw obviously Redbud. We opened up with them last year, so it's at least teams and staffs and programs that we have a little familiarity with, and it's just it's trying to get our guys kind of reprogrammed into doing what we do, and we'll prepare the best we can for the time that we have, and go play as hard as we can for as long as we can.
Coaches, today the preseason coaches poll came out. Centralia number 1, your Carterville Lions number 2.
Yeah, and it's
I know you don't put a lot into that. I know coaches, but I mean it's kind of nice to have the preseason nod.
It is. It's to get the recognition, but with that recognition comes the bullseye, and that's fine. I think we have guys who are used to winning. They've won. Our seniors have won for a long time in multiple sports, and so for those guys to kind of get that recognition, and people kind of understand who they are and appreciate who they are, and to rank them that high, it's good for our program. But at the same time, it's we're not playing the games on paper. We're going to tip it up at 7:30 on Monday night against Stillville, and Stillville's used to winning too. They got to the state tournament last year in 1A, and they've had a lot of success. I got some of those guys who were back that were around that program, and none of that matters when you get there Monday night at 7:30. Their success last year doesn't matter. What preseason ranking we have this year, it's not going to matter. And what's going to matter is who can compete and play the right way and play the way they want to at 7:30 on Monday night.
I guess we'll see you Monday night.
Looking forward to it. It's been a long time since February. As a basketball coach, you have the spring and the summer, and you kind of get ready in the summer because you're with your guys, and then you take 3 months off or 4 months off. So just being able to get back in the gym and kind of get back on that regular schedule, and I'm looking forward to it. It's we got guys who have a chance to have a special year.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach Shane Hawkins joining us a little bit earlier over at the school. I went over to practice and had a chance to spend a couple of minutes with him. And, it all gets started on Monday. Let me get to the right slide here. It's going to be the Steelville game on Monday night, 7 o'clock. Wednesday, it'll be a 7 o'clock game against Trico. And then on Friday, it'll be a 5:30 tip against Redbud. And then depending on how you do in pool play will depend on the game that you play on Saturday. But that all starts on Monday evening as the Ernie Bozarth Tournament kicks off coming up this next week. Scott Hudson and I will have all of the games for you on News Radio WJPF again this year, AM 1340, 99.5 FM. And we'll have the YouTube stream up and running. Now at Trico, depends. If I can get a Wi-Fi signal and get a good signal, then we'll have it on the YouTube channel. If it's dependent on my cell phone, that's God's country over there. And sometimes there's not cell service, which it just kind of depends. But we're going to give it a shot. Pre-game coverage will start at 6:45 on News Radio WJPF and on our YouTube channel. We hope to see you there and get out and root these Carterville Lions on, whether it's basketball, boys and girls, whether it's wrestling. They'd love to see you at the games and hope you travel to support your Carterville Lions. Until we chat on Monday evening at 6:45, have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time with friends and family. If you have that opportunity, and if you do have that opportunity to be with them, please do. It's pretty important. But have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you next Monday night from Trico High School for Carterville Lions basketball. Have a good night, everybody.